Hello, what's going on? Pardon me. I'm trying to put my hair up, and yep, there it is, little disheveled. So, hey, what's going on? The title of this video is "Black Community: The Evil Side Attempts to Save Face." Now, I'm just gonna try to be quick with this because I have some places to go. In fact, check me out on my Facebook. I'm gonna be doing a live shortly, trying to do maybe one or two, but definitely one today. So one of the attempts, one of the things, especially since, all right, so I had mentioned this before that February was just going to be exposing the niggers and coons during Black history and how that has been one of the most prominent, um, I guess, prominent factors that's been going on in my life that have, just definitely disrupted. And they have been involved and connected with harming other people's lives and even their own. It really just all comes into a freaking circle. So, okay, like, all right. There's always somebody who signs on to my live, but I've already went ahead and took pictures of that before a few times, and then it just automatically turns off. So, what I believe is happening, because I've been shadow banned, and I am supposedly, my content isn't getting out there to the masses, is that I've seen and I've also witnessed some things happen within the YouTube realm, like the employees and things of that nature doing things in order to purposely get my content like not shown, but or limited to a certain particular audience or just to nobody in its entirety. But that's why I'm taking this shit on the road. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about, no, well, the part about the evil side of the Black community, it's just with the niggers and coons primarily. They use like these tactics, obviously, when it comes to like slander, lies, and things of that nature. But also, what they try to do is that they try to appeal to my better senses, and by doing that, and it's just basically manipulation. I mean, they manipulate other people, and then they try in hopes to manipulate me too. And one of the ways is by doing that is saying things of like, "Oh, be the bigger person." When you're being attacked, when your livelihood and your well-being and your physical life is being attacked, they want you to be the bigger person. Historically and just respectfully, that's that person right there is really just telling you to kill yourself. They are in more ways than one, to kill yourself. That person does not care about you. They really don't. When you are being the bigger person at the risk, how does it make it seem like you are being the bigger person? But I'm literally just, all I'm doing is speaking up. I'm being putting facts to the accusations and disproving them. I've been going to court. I've been, doing the footwork, and I've been showing you, and I've been, doing the live and things of that nature. But people are saying, be the bigger person. What they want me to do is to be silent while they have continued the decades long bullshit that they've done behind the scenes. Like, if these people actually cared, let's just cut through all the bullshit, cut through all the words. This is really why I cut off that person, because this person was always just like a gap, 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 gap. And when talking wasn't working, they would cry and use manipulation. And by that time, you find yourself in a loop trying to give them a chance. But once once you establish what your cutoffs are and how it really infuriates you and how you don't respect it, and that person tries it, get it, get it. You don't need to give this person an explanation, because they obviously don't give a fuck. They just keep talking. And if they can't talk to you, then they'll talk to other people hoping that they can get to you. And then they'll talk to other people and hoping that they can vilify you and try to shame guilt you in order to, like, they do multiple tactics in order to try to get at you any kind of way. And if none of those work, if you are impressively the kind of person who does not allow other people to affect your decision and cutting somebody off, then that person who you cut off is going to do things by like calling your job. They're going to try to basically take you down. Okay, they'll take you down by your career. They'll take you down by your reputation. They'll take you down by your interests. And if there are stupid people who are very caught up in their feelings and can't separate their identity from somebody else's, and they want to go ahead and enact violence or some kind of pettiness in pursuit of that person without holding them accountable in front of the law. My cat just walked in. You okay? Hi. If they can, what's wrong? You okay? Okay. Well, you look okay. You will come over here if you're not okay. Come over here. But if not, then I'm gonna take you okay. You okay? Good. So they will literally try to destroy your entire life in order for you, hoping, praying that what you can do is that you'll go back to them for comfort, for emotional comfort or anything else. And it's just like at that point, this person still doesn't get it that they were a burden to me from the fucking jump. And this is literally how it started from the very beginning, okay? I met this person in school, grade school, elementary school. This person came up to me. I had got a Skip It, which is a toy. It was a really cute little funny toy that you do from a teacher. And hold on for one moment because I want to go ahead and record this on another platform because I'm really tired of YouTube being so fucking corrupt. Okie dokie, 11 cookie. Come get some of this tenderoni. Pardon me. Just hearing this. Let's see. Mm-mm. Pardon me, because I am investing in a nice table tripod. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I can't. Boom and this. And this. And this. And this. And this. Okay, un momento. Un momento. I'm just gonna go ahead and go grab me like a little mini tripod. Hold on. Oh, look at you talking. Oh, my little critters. My little critters. Do, 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 do. Yes. Oh. Okie okie dokie, like and pokey. It's going and bam and bam. Okay, so as I was saying, all right, so I have this other platform on right now that's on live, and I'm talking to you guys live right now. So just wanted to greet, have them catch up. So hey, what's going on? I'm just talking also on my YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel is also getting compromised most of the time. So the title of this video is Black Community, the Evil Side, Attempt to Save Face. Now, what I was going on about is that how this initially started is based off on one person's extreme jealousy, or actually a few people's extreme jealousy, and it just manifested into something that was just so crazy and outlandish. And this is, I wouldn't say surreal anymore. This is just so out of pocket and so embarrassing. And so detrimental to not just only my life, but just to people's lives in general, because it did nothing but influence other people to, enact that same kind of horrible, evil wickedness into other people's lives. And again, this is like you hate me calling you guys evil, but yet you like identifying yourself as the villain or as, as dark and things of that nature. So, and by dark, I obviously mean about dark as in evil and wicked. So, all right. One of the things people have been using is oh no, I was telling you about the story about basically how I was a young kid. So I got the basically how I met this person was that person came to me. We were in school, we were in grade school together, we were in elementary school. And so what happened was just that this person came to me. They were liking my personality, they were liking my energy and things of that nature. And I went about like befriending this person. It didn't become anything special because I was always like friends with everybody else too. So it was just like, well, friends with everybody else too, but it was just like because everybody kept calling me their friend. And I just, as a child in elementary school, mind you, second grade, I didn't mind it. I was just like, oh, okay, this is not bad. Like 2 grades prior to that, I was in Catholic school, and Catholic school was literally dominantly white. So just seeing a whole bunch of people that look like me and just, wanting to, be buddy buddy. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is awesome. It's nice. Um, that and I had some family members in there, like, like 1 or 2 cousins, but other than that, like it was pretty much on my own because the cousin was like in the 5th grade and I was in the 2nd grade. So yeah. And the other one was a teacher, but I didn't get to see her, but she was never my teacher. So, but anyway, the people that were very quiet about all the background shit that was done behind my back never told me exactly like all the maliciousness that this person was, saying and all the lies and things of that nature. But this person came from a home, I wouldn't say even humble, but just a homely background. Okay. There was, trash everywhere. It was tucked in an area, and it was heavily infestated. It was heavily, heavily infestated. I want to stress that because like what you think of like as an infestation will not compare to what you saw as being so unclean and unkept and just in that place. And how she carried herself also like was not very. It wasn't like rough housing. She was just very meek, mild, and it was a very like unattract like it was unflattering. You saw the movie Little Princess? That's what she was. She was the black girl from, like, Little Princess, but it was, like, more homelier, and people were making fun of her. Like, the only time when she would probably dress up nice is probably for, like, pictures, and that was, like, the best she could do, or if it was, like, the Sunday events or holiday or something like that, that was the best that she could do. I mean, her mother could do. But she was friends with me because I was just, like I was friends with basically just, like, it was kicking it pretty much with like other people without really being friends. But like I said, I grew up around a big family. So it was like literally 8 of us when it comes to siblings. And I always was the kind of person who had like, hanging out with my cousins and things of that nature. So it was just like, yeah, sure. The more the merrier. Anyway, the person had met me during like the 2nd, 3rd grade. And no, 2nd grade was Miss Brosina. No, second grade. Second grade was Miss Brosina. 3rd grade, Mr. Canzio, Miss Brosina, no, Miss Brosina, Mr. Canzio, Miss Taylor. Okay, yeah. So there we go. So we met in Mr. Canzio's class, and Mr. Canzio, she really took to my personality, and she gave me a skip it. She gave me a skip it. I could get toys on my own, like well, not on my own, because again, I'm a child. So, but she gave me a skip it based off just on her liking me. She was a sweet old Italian lady. She was just very nice, and I had Italian in my family. So I don't even know what the link is for her to give me a toy, but people were giving me things just because. And for some reason, I think that that probably is what helped gravitate her towards me. And me not just being any of the wiser, I was just like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, it's actually cool. And then after she was at a point in time where it was just like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. And Miss Rosina, like, I'm like, "Oh, I can't do this." Like, I have to ask Miss Rosina, and what she had actually, wanted to happen. And I asked Miss Rosina, and Miss Rosina, sorry, not Miss Rosina, it's Mr. Canzio. I asked Mr. Canzio, and Mr. Canzio had gave her a skip it. So then we both got skip its. And shortly after that, with a lot of the attention I was getting, I was given the title of best friend. And me being oblivious and just wanting to always uphold my titles and my roles. Because back in the day, I was the second eldest out of the family, but I was always the one that was, considered the one to help around the house, the one to take care of my grandmother when she had her blackouts with diabetes. I was the one that was taking care of her and my brothers when my grandmother had her blackouts, and my mom was, just being young and living her life and things of that nature. But my grandmother was like my primary caretaker and stuff like that. So it's always going to be a sensitive moment talking about her, because she was the one that was literally, she was the one who I consider my mom. She was the one who like practically raised me. And my yeah. So anyway, so with this girl, she was just, befriending me and things of that nature. And I thought that, it was like legit friendship. And then all of a sudden I'm starting to hear things behind my back, and I'm always having to stand up for myself. But also I'm inviting this person to my place. I'm inviting this person to hang out with me, to go to certain places that apparently her mom wouldn't allow, either wouldn't allow her to do or couldn't afford for her to go. So if we went to like Sportsland, if we went to here and there, and we had, like little ice cream cakes, and, wanted to go this place and a third. There was a story one time that she had shared with me, my mother, about like, how her mom took her and her brothers to IHOP, and her brother had ordered a stack of pancakes, and the stack of pancakes had the little scoop on there, and it was very cutesy, and he ate that scoop thinking it was ice cream, but it was butter. And our hearts, let me tell you, I just thought that was just like so endearing. That's like something like you would literally see in like in a cinema or something like that. But around me, she just carried like such a well, I wouldn't say sweet all the time, because she did have a little nastiness about her. But it was sweet enough to the point where it was just like when I say there was a little nastiness about it, it was just like unprovoked. Like she liked to talk about people, but in a way where it sounded more like, "Oh, look at that." But it seemed more in a way where, how could I say this? It seemed more in a way of you're examining something with your eyes, but it's like you're curious about it too. And like, I don't really know how to explain it if you're like not in the moment. Because she had different ways about her. It was mostly like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. Or, oh, I don't have that. So why don't I have that? And oh, I'm not looking like that. So why can't I look like that? Oh, wow. Can I did you see what she was wearing? Yeah. It I would like that. I would want that. Did you, and then she probably would say like some like little sly joke about it, and then like laugh about it to try to make a joke. But like you can definitely tell that there was insecurity. If you listen enough and you listen often, you were around that person's company, or that person tried to be in your company, you would hear the insecurities, and you would try to soothe this person in order to make them feel better. And you're like, well, hey, here, hey, look, I got you something. Surprise, I got you something. Or like, I think that you would like this. And they'd be like, oh my God, it's so nice. Eventually, around like middle school, there was some things that were actually pretty expensive that I had wanted to get, off of like the money that I got off of my allowance and things of that nature. And this person was very like, oh, that's it. Noted. Noted, because you can't even afford it. So it's like, but like this is something that people were talking about, really hyped up about. And I had like the little Pikachu, like it was a Pikachu with the glowing cheeks. And I had a toy. And she wanted like one of those little talking toys. And not many people could get it at that time. It was like, it was popping. I had got one for her. And she was just like, oh, like that. Back in my memory bank, because that was one of the moments where I was just like, wow, okay. you only have to do something once in order for me to mentally check it. And after a certain point in time, it accrues to a point where I'm literally will cut you off from certain access to me. And it's a shame that, it took me this long, but I was just like, I don't even want to give you the benefit of a doubt to speak or try to save face because you have done nothing but continuously either try to overstep boundaries or disrespect certain kind of boundaries that I have. Like, in its entirety. And then having to find out later, after so many years, that you decided to sleep with people behind my back who were going with me at the time, lie behind my back, steal from me, and then try to create a storyline as if I was the hater. And yet you have literally, with the help of people who work for the city. So that's city employees, that's government employees working with you in order to try to cover your tracks so you can try to get off scot free. And so that way you can also, because you see the shit that happened with court. Like I looked it up. The whole no contact thing can literally go for like years if you wanted to. And I have recordings of it where I was speaking with other people and how the runaround for me to have gotten all this done. Did you see how like they extended it for over a year over the statute of limitations? Dirty work, dirty people, black people that really have fucking corrupt and evil ways. And then they want to go ahead and try to deflect and try to distract and try to throw it on to other races and shit like that. But it's just like, who are you fighting against? You're fighting against yourselves. You really have a problem within yourselves. And then you want to go ahead and try to pick fights with people who look like you. May not look like entirely like you, which is crazy because then you want to try to be them. It's just so fucking crazy. Like, yo, man, sick. So sick. I'm so disgusted. So I'm going to be leaving shortly so that way we can go ahead and disprove some other lies because the foundation of everything is just a person who was extremely always just bitter and miserable and never fucking happy. This person is an empty void. And I have recordings of people who were trying to, really like spread the cheeks and suck this person's ass in regards to like giving them a whole bunch of like, filling up their head even more with just like, oh, like, feel better and things of that nature. But because based off of lies. And some of these people actually know what the fuck is going on, but they don't care because it's getting their pockets, fatter. It's getting them opportunities. It's getting them noticed. It's getting for opportunities for material wealth or for positions or for attention for with, other sexes and things of that nature. This is so gross. This is so fucking gross. But then they'll cherry pick. They'll be like, okay, fine then. They'll try to feel like they have balanced things out by going ahead and being like, you know what? What we're doing right now is unjustified. It's extremely illegal. But there's somebody out there right now who needs our help also. And we will rather help them in order to balance out all the fuck shit that we're doing to this innocent woman who does not deserve any of this shit. And this is what I define as putting out little fires. Because here it is, a big fire that's going on right now that has influenced other little fires to happen around the neighborhood, community, worldwide, society, this, that, here, and the third. But these people choose to not pay attention to me, but try to think that they are justifying their actions or at least appeasing and silencing their mind and their guilt by going ahead to address the smaller matters or matters that have been influenced by harming me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So imagine if I have been harmed, unjustly abused, surveilled, exploited, the human trafficking, lied on, had people who were probably interested in helping me, gaslighted or tried to be persuaded to not like me or bribed to not like me, right? And also mock me, poison my food, do nasty things to my food, things of that nature for laughs, giggles, and for a very deeply insecure woman's ego, very frail, low ego and low self worth and low self esteem. Okay. So there's somebody else who's watching all this, who's participating and supporting all this, who's like, you know what? I would love to have an easy come up. I would love to be able to steal ideas from another black person. You guys talk about white people stealing ideas or stealing things from Black people. And don't get it twisted, they do. And those white people, those racists and shit like that, have been stealing ideas and my money from me, and also have been helping the losers who have offended me, and then look the other way. So yeah, no, no, y'all both, yeah, everybody literally is under the fucking spotlight. But I want to just talk about the initiators who really went all out and continue to in order to mess up my entire life for their freaking self gain, for their own self gain, their own evil intentions. So yeah, so that person who wants to have a come up, that person who wants to have a position, that person who wants to be in the movies or have a music album out or anything of that nature, that person is going to go ahead and betray me, backstab me, or harm me because that's what the other person did. They are influenced by that. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. And that's a little fire because it's only affecting that person, whoever they have in their targets. And isn't that person isn't just a nobody. The target isn't just a nobody. That person is a person also. But just imagine on how many people that are like the initial how many people are like the person that's been inspired to do harm. Just imagine there's so many of those people. And you're just putting out little fires here and there instead of going ahead to address this big situation that you guys have been having problems with, that you guys have been involved with. So now, how is the Black community with doing like their evil side, like the dark evil side? Because Black people are inherently evil. So, like, what parts of the dark evil side are people doing? Well, again, like I said, they are doing the lies and slanders, and they're also doing a lot of things in order to definitely vilify me and taint and harm my character. But they are also right now trying to make it seem like I should be the bigger person. When here's the thing, they're also ransoming me practically, saying that, oh, if I'm a good person, or like if I be quiet, and if I be as, I guess, like jovial and possess the energy that I once had when I was patient with these motherfuckers, um then supposedly I'll get my blessings. But here's the thing though, I was that jovial person for years, and you didn't appreciate it. This is why I said that, a lot of these Black Christians are so fucking stupid. The tarot readers, especially when it comes to the niggers and coons. I'm not talking about anybody else, but I'm talking about specifically for the niggers and coons. Because there's just, again, there's so many of them. If there wasn't so many of them, then I'd already have the justice that I've needed and I've required and that I've demanded and I've worked for. Yeah. So with that being said, um, it's just easy for me not to listen to these fools because they really are just saying words to manipulate the audience and trying to manipulate me, but it's all falling flat on their face. Like, be fucking for real. How are you telling me that I should be? Well, I guess, like, you say that you want to forget the past. It's like, oh, let go of the past, forget the past. But here you guys go, really harping on things from the past in which you had access to me that you no longer have access to. Did you understand that? Can you understand that? Can your mind, I know it's limited, but can you actually grasp that concept? How are you telling me to let go of the past, but yet you are the person who, is revealing your fucking childhood traumas onto me by, maintaining or upholding some kind of identity that I guess your mama didn't give you, or you didn't get enough of because either that person's not there anymore, or the person was never there for you, or whatever. You're getting your rocks off on that, and you're projecting all that shit onto me if I don't keep up the facade or the image that you want me to do. Mental illness. Mental illness. And then you guys want me to be like, sweet or domicile and things of that nature. But I'm just like, well, if that was the case, then you guys would have, left me alone. Those blessings would have already manifested without any kind of trouble. But no, now look where we are. Now look where the fuck we are. You are in a deficit. I am old. You are in debt. And you've tried to put me in debt. And yet, oh wow. And yet here we are. It's just like, yo, there's just a lot of pettiness in the black community. I just, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. It's like you can't get over me. And I would really like to know the kind of comprehension level or skill set that the people have that you guys speak to, because what kind of books do they read? Like you guys are trying to, wanting to make, reading books a thing, and I don't go against that. I actually approve of that. Back in the day, I was a voracious reader, or like an avid reader of certain materials, but still, nonetheless, I read. And the thing is, it's like, well, what are you having people read if they aren't really, truly learning something, especially basic skills on comprehension, or able to identify, or be able to discern, recognize patterns, to see things ultimately as it is. Hmm. Wow. Well, yeah. Hold on for a moment, 'cause I'm just gonna go ahead and just get on with Medize and go ahead and do like another live action. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I was gonna wear some pointy boots, some high heel boots with this outfit, but if I'm gonna be running these errands, I'm not going to make myself uncomfortable for these tasks. These tasks I'm about to do. There's no aesthetic that I'm looking forward to trying to emulate right now. I've got things to do. All right, but hold on. Let me stand up. So I'm wearing actually this skirt, and I have on some um some stockings and some boots. So yeah, that's why I was just like, okay, hold on. So I think I think I can, here we go. Boom. Yeah, baby. And you, boom. All right, so I'm just gonna roll this on. Oh, oops. But yeah. It's like a really, really thick stockings, and I love it. I absolutely adore it. Okay. All right. So, bam. Okay. And bam. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just handle some things, because like one of the lies that this person has said about me is that supposedly, I was brought up in a very poor home, and I was like, no, my uncle worked on Wall Street, and the family had, they didn't have wealth, but they had money. Okay, like we literally had, like we could go places and things of that nature. We were the kind of people who went traveling every summer down in the south, and we had, like, we bought things that were just like, were so fashionable and cute and things of that nature. It was just like, yeah, we really doing the most. Oh, shut up. You gotta get out the way anyway, because I have to feed the birds. Stop. Thank you. Okay. Ugh, guys. Do you want to see the fat one? Do you want to see? I'm provoked. I'm provoked. You guys like destroy or harm my cats. I'm provoked. They do nothing to you. They just exist. My little chocolates. Yeah. I'm gonna go soon. Actually. I love you. I love you. Yeah. Bye. Oh, do you see the other one right there? Yeah. All right, guys. Um. Okay, so yeah, like yo, there's just such a freaking storyline. I mean, like every single thing that I did when I was in grade school was literally because my mom had like these high standards for me, so she always wanted me to like immerse myself into different things. My grandmother was more of a laid back kind of ladylike kind of person, and I more gravitated towards it was like a juxtapose between those. So I was like a little bit of tomboyish, just a little bit, just teeny weeny bit, but mostly ladylike. And I was, my mom had infused me into different things that were outside of school, but in school I wanted to pursue things independently, which was like like violin, poetry, and I don't know who I got science from because nobody in the family was into science. So that was like my own personal interest. I just like pursuing science. I was more inquisitive. I was more about like building things. I was more about like building things with my hands and finding out like how things work really. So I literally made a candy machine when I was in elementary school, and I did things where like I wanted to be class president. These are things that my mom didn't do, but I just naturally gravitated toward these things. So I was like, excuse me, I was class assistant president, a role that I was just like, yeah, this is nothing, not for me, because it was just like too much responsibility, and the president themselves kept, calling out like sick or had like other things to do, and I was just like, yeah, you know what. This is just not. I cannot. I've literally spoken about this before on like another video. I was like, wow, really? Like, really? It's supposed to be a team effort, and where are you? Where the fuck are you? So then after that, I went to like I tried it again, but this time I went for like another role because that's just yeah. Anyway, I don't. I do know why. When I say that, I don't know why, but I didn't think too much into it to know why. So I don't know why as far in regards to that, but I know that it has to stem from insecurity and jealousy initially as to why, how traditionally from the foundation that we had met, this person has always been jealous and insecure. And I just thought it was just a moment of like, all right, if this person is my friend, then shouldn't I do something in regards to like alleviate those kind of insecurities and things of that nature? And again, mind you, I'm in the second grade. So as a child, and I think that's actually a very important lesson for all of us as a cautionary tale for people who have children to kind of know about like responsibilities in regulating our own emotions, and for having us be responsible for each for our own emotions, and how somebody should really just go ahead and be responsible for theirs. Because I in my own home was helping out. I was like the caretaker assistant basically. So people need to definitely watch out for that, and I learned on my own exactly how to be careful with that and around that person, which is why a lot of the things that this person is supposedly speaking up on me or trying to share about like supposedly my business is based off on lies for the most part. If not anything, or if they do happen to say like even a fraction of truth, they add it with like a what is it called, a half truth. Like they don't talk about the parts that that they put in here. They can be like, oh, well, she's living in the hood. This is the house that I saved from foreclosure. This is the house that I had got as an investment for me and my younger brothers. This is the house that I had fixed up by myself. And this is the house that I am intending to sell, that I've actually kept until, the date that was okay for me to sell. And this is the house that you have done everything in order to disrupt and try to wanted to see me homeless. And I've never been homeless. Okay, I've never been homeless. So And they wanted to go ahead and say like, "Oh, see, this is the time when she had stayed with me for the holidays because you called me sister." And so I figured because I don't have any maternal or I don't have any, strong woman presence and we've known each other since second grade that you would not mind for me to visit you. In fact, initially you invited me and your mom invited me. So what the fuck? And if you didn't want me to come, then that would have been fine too, because other people had invited me to their homes. But I was thinking that, oh, this is going to be a tradition. And you're like, yeah, girl. But if you never actually wanted me to come, then that's fine. I don't know why you would say that I was homeless and that I needed to sleep on your couch. No. First off, I slept upstairs in your room. We were well, I chose a floor because I'm a wall sleeper, and you had the bed, and you had actually a small bed. You had like a smaller bed than mine because I have a queen size bed. You had a smaller bed and was flush to the wall. I do have a video of that, and I showed that on one of my videos on this channel. So it's just like you are the kind of person who really just, really deeply insecure. And you made it seem like I was somebody who was destitute and troubled. I I have before I even knew about how awful and how serious the situation was, I was thinking, "Oh, Justice gonna save me. Justice is actually gonna like, yeah, sure." Because like Justice has had some ups and downs, mostly some downs, but Justice will come through as long, especially if I have like support and I have evidence and things of that nature. No. Justice system is just as corrupt as these people. In fact, justice system is the ones that have helped these people. So I'm on my own, and I'm just, doing what is necessary in order to get the justice that is long overdue, extremely long fucking overdue. And I'm going to be um, continuing that into a video. Okay, so my MacBook is about to die, and I'm going to go. But let's go ahead and just hit the foundation of this about the parts where where it came to awards and things of that nature, and this person was always jealous. And then she started attracting jealousy onto other people from the grade school. So if it's like, oh, if I get an award for like a National Honor Society, or if I get like a position here, or if I get the being like a soloist, you're not even in the orchestra at the time. But if I get anything, it's always behind my back. It's always on that whole, oh, why did Shalise have this? Oh, I bet she like she cried to get this. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you now because as you guys are trying to point the finger at me, you don't know that there is a sinister snake that's either in your camp, in your family, and you would double down and be like, no, 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 couldn't be. Don't be it can never be me. And then it end up being you or somebody who you actually care about who definitely doesn't have a strong enough circle. Don't. Don't. All right, I'm about to go because again, this is about to like close out. So see me on Facebook because I'm literally about to do another live shortly after. But yeah, these are accolades and things of that nature that this person was denying, saying that I was just see me. All right, I'll talk later. Bye.